Good morning, everyone. It's Robert from On My Turntable. Hope you had a great morning this morning. It is a dreary Sunday morning. Looks like it may rain, but as always, a coffee kind of morning. I want to continue with part two of the R's from my A to Z from my collection. Had to be a two-parter because I couldn't have done it all in one shot. Before we get into it, though, please hit the like and subscribe button below. Thank you to all that have liked and subscribed so far. I greatly appreciate it. I want to continue to put great content out there, be informative, and to show you guys some great bands and artists that I have in my collection. It's because of you guys, your likes, your subscriptions, your wonderful, wonderful comments that keep me going, keep me motivated to do this kind of thing, and thank you. Thank you all. I appreciate it. So we left off yesterday, and I knew I had these in my collection. I just didn't bring them with me when I did the video. Silly me. But I showed you the vinyl version of this amazing album, Rising by Rainbow. Of course, with the great late Ronnie James Dio and Ritchie Blackmore, of course. Well, I also had Long Live Rock and Roll, another Dio performance in this one. Great, great album. So good. So yeah, I apologize I didn't show you those yesterday. One of my all-time favorite bands. And speaking of losses, I talked yesterday about losing Dusty Hill from ZZ Top. Well, this was a huge blow a couple of years ago when we lost Neil Peart from Rush. Of course, he's not on this one. This is their first album, one of my all-time favorites ever. Featured John Rutsey on drums. Great drummer in his own right. He was just had some physical problems. Wasn't able to tour. Decided not to tour, and left the band just before their first tour to promote this album. Quite a blow to the band, as he was one of the founding members, and if you see any videos, he was kind of the front man as well. But wonderful, wonderful album. This is not progressive in any way. Straight ahead rock, hard rock, Led Zeppelin-like rock as well. You got Finding My Way, Need Some Love, Take a Friend, Here Again, What You're Doing, In the Mood, Before and After, and The Great Working Man. If you don't respect Alex Lifeson as a guitarist, you haven't heard this album. Just remarkable, remarkable. The lead on Working Man is, whew. So these aren't in any particular order. I should keep them in order, but I don't. So Rush, Fly By Night. Of course, Neil Peart's in the band at this point. Changed the direction of the band completely, became more progressive, more Lord of the Rings like in his writing style. Songs about trees, songs about all kinds of weird things, but it worked for this band. And quiet soul in his own right, but an amazing drummer. This is an amazing album as well, Crest of Steel. Then you got Permanent Waves. Again, no order, and these, Grace Under Pressure. An amazing live album from Toronto, All the World is Stage. It's got the amazing version of all of their hits, really. Bastille Day, Anthem, Fly By Night, In the Mood, Something for Nothing, Lakeside Park, great track. Olive Side 1 of 2112, By Tor and the Snow Dog, In the End, Working Man, Finding My Way from the first album I showed you, and What You're Doing from the first album. Really good stuff. Speaking of 2112, classic album. I also have that on vinyl. I'll show you in just a second. Their most commercially successful album, Moving Pictures. Hemispheres, remarkable album. La Bila Strangiato, again, if you don't know Alex Lifeson as a guitarist, the lead work on La Bila Strangiato is just remarkable. Highly underrated, highly underrated guitarist for sure. Snakes and Arrows, great album. This is Hold Your Fire. Then you got Roll the Bones. As you can see, I'm a big fan of Rush. Then this great box set featuring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 albums. 6 albums, 1 compilation. You got Presto, another copy of Snakes and Arrows. This is the compilation album. They do it's called Feedback. They do versions of their favorite tracks. So you got Summertime Blues, Heart Full of Soul, For What It's Worth, The Seeker, Mr. Soul, 7 and 7 Is, Shape of Things, Crossroads. They do a great job on that one. This is a remixed version of Vapor Trails. Then you got Test for Echo. And I can never remember the name of this album here. Counterparts. And Roll the Bones. So that's all the CDs I have. Oh, sorry, and one more. Their final album, Clockwork Angels. Remarkable album. Yeah, the Garden, ending the last song on the final album. The Garden is just a beautiful track. It brings you to tears. The live version is remarkable. Yeah. Then I have Moving Pictures on vinyl. Hemispheres on vinyl. A little bit of rippage in the cover, but the album itself is good. 2112. And I have a live version. This is from Kiev. 2112 in concert, and it's on Violet Vinyl, it's called. Definitely a bootleg album, but it sounds good. So there's my Rush collection. That's why I didn't want to do this yesterday, because it would have taken up so much. The Stones, I don't have a lot of Stones. I mean, as far as music. Exile on Main Street. And then we have Let It Bleed. Striped. Then we have Sticky Fingers. And Goat's Head Soup. And this is It's Only Rock and Roll. Bridges to Babylon. Compilation album, Made in the Shade. I've had this one for years. Still one of my favorite compilation albums. Made in the Shade. And Hot Rocks. As I said, not a lot of Stones albums. Not sure why, but I think what I have is good. The great Gerry Rafferty, City to City. This has the Ark and Baker Street. This is a great album. Very shy player as well. Didn't want to be in the limelight. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. But City to City is a great album. As well as Night Owl. Love that cover as well. Great Rosington Collins band. Great Southern rock from some members of Lynyrd Skynyrd. Um, great stuff. The beautiful Linda Ronstadt featuring Aaron Neville. Cry Like a Rainstorm. Howl Like the Wind. Beautiful Linda Ronstadt. It's a great rockin' album. This is Rose Tattoo. Assault and Battery. Gotta give this one a bit more of a listen, but it's a great album. Straight ahead rock and roll. I probably wouldn't have bought this otherwise. This was in a package that I bought off my friend from Ottawa. This is Lou Reed, Rock and Roll Animal. Not a big fan of Lou Reed, but I'm not even sure if I've heard this album more than once. But I'll have to give it another listen to be more fair to it. But glad to have it still. It's in great shape also. The great Ton Rundgren and Something. Awesome album. Great band, The Records. Great straight ahead rock band. Yeah, it's good stuff. Really good album, The Records. Roxy Music. This is Flesh and Blood. And then we have Avalon. It's a fantastic album. Avalon. So good. And Manifesto. Just picked up this one not too long ago. This is Romeo Void. Instincts. It's a great album. Really good stuff. Very happy to find that one. This is Asylum Choir Part 2. This is with Leon Russell and Mark Beno. This is a great album as well. Two wonderful players. Really good stuff. This was in that package that I bought off my friend. About 300 albums or so. Well, gosh, when was that? That was a while ago. What's new? What Now, My Love? Sorry, Mitch Ryder. Very vocalist. Beautiful vocals on this one. This is on the Dino Voice label. But what a great singer he is. The Great Rare Earth. This is Willie Remembers. Wonderful cover on that one. And Willie Remembers. As well as Back to Earth by Rare Earth. So there you have it, guys. There's the R's. Didn't take as long as I thought, but I didn't take much time to talk about the albums as I normally do. But I wanted to get this part 2 completed, and moving on to the S's. That may take a while. There's a lot of bands with the letter S involved, so that may be a 3-parter. But I'll probably be doing that coming up early next week. Love you all. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you all so much for your wonderful comments, your support. You guys are amazing. And have yourself a wonderful day. Take care.